Hello Year 6, this is the next instalment of your book. I left you last time with Chopper talking about his secret diary that he obviously wants to keep away from King Henry, and I'm going to start with that. This is very much his account of Henry's girlfriends. So Chopper's list of Henry's girlfriends, top secret, not to be read by anybody. 1510 Anne Hastings. With Queen Catherine expecting a baby, the governor has been looking at certain ladies in court. Anne Hastings caught his eye. However, as soon as George, her hubby, got to know about it, he carted her off to a convent. 1514 Jane Poppincourt. What a pretty name. The governor has been seeing her for a bit of a fling. She used to be the Duc de Longueville's mistress when he was a prisoner of war, but now he's gone back to France. Well. 1519 Elizabeth Bessie Blount. The governor's had a son, but not a legal one. Elizabeth's married to Gilbert Talboys, the son of old mad Lord Kyne. The governor keeping Gilbert quiet by making him a knight. He's calling the child Henry Fitzroy and making him Duke of Richmond. What a shame Catherine hasn't had a son. She was upset when the Gov paraded the kid around court, I can tell you. 1525 Mary Boleyn. She's been in France where she had an affair with the French king, but she's recently married William Carey. Henry's decided that she is for him. 1526 Anne Boleyn. Now he's seen Mary's sister. What a man. 1535 Madge Shelton. Governor for Madge. The governor's been seeing Madge Shelton, Queen Anne's cousin and lady-in-waiting. I reckon that Queen Anne arranged this herself to stay in the governor's good books. Mind you, from what the governor said to me, Queen Anne's annoyed. Now it's happened. 7th of January 1536. The court of King Henry announces that the Dowager Princess of Wales, Catherine, formerly known as Queen of England, died at 2 p.m. at Kimbolton. She is to be buried at Peterborough Cathedral in a full state funeral at the end of this month. The 11th of January 1536. The governor and the whole court are going round dressed in yellow. I thought they were celebrating the death of the governor's ex-missus, but Cromwell told me that in Spain yellow is the colour of royal mourning. The governor's made everyone wear it to avoid upsetting the Holy Roman Emperor. He's Catherine's nephew after all. So as a mark of respect, everyone looks like an oversized banana. Mind you, there have been a few parties over the last few days as well. I reckon the governor is happy that Catherine's out the way at last. He'd be dancing on her grave if he could do it without upsetting Emperor Charles. Ye Son. Jobless total up. Up to 200 monasteries are to go across the country, with hundreds of monks and nuns to be made jobless. Monasteries whose land and property are worth less than £200 are to be closed down by order of King Henry and his Vicar General Thomas Cromwell. In recent visits, inspectors found widespread corruption, hypocrisy, and traitors still loyal to Rome lands and buildings are to become crown property, as all are precious items, metals, pictures and anything of worth. The Treasury expects to receive thousands of pounds from the closure. A spokesmonk said, "It's just privatisation gone crazy, with more money going to the people who've got too much already." Schools that are run by the monks will also have to close. The king has promised the building of more grammar schools to make up the loss. These will be called king's schools. Although the larger monasteries have escaped, there are rumours, strongly denied, that the king aims to close these in the next 4 years. If so, 9,000 jobs will be lost, as all 800 of England's religious buildings are dissolved. The 3rd of April 1536. The governor's a bit worried. He's getting totally fed up with Anne Boleyn. I told him not to marry her. Any woman with an extra finger on her hand and 3 breasts is bound to be trouble. Anyway, she's not given him a male heir, and it's rumoured that she's seen someone else. I should know. I started the rumours. So the Gov popped in for a quick chat. Governor, Chopper, what would you do? Me, no doubt about it. Chop her head off. A short trial, find her guilty of messing around with other blokes, then a quick chopping trip. Governor, I reckon you're right, Chopper. When could you fit her in? Me, how does 3 weeks on Friday suit you? Governor, can it be sooner? 'Cause I fancy Jane Seymour. Me, I know it's you, Governor, but I'm fully booked. Look, I'll have a word with the mate from France who's a dab hand with a two-handed sword, and I reckon he'll be about to sort something out. Governor, thanks, Chopper, much appreciated. Me, a pleasure, Governor. I also didn't fancy being someone who cuts off the head of the Queen of England. Not good for the public image. 17th of May, 1536. Well, it was a short trial, and they found her guilty. What a surprise! I did Anne's brother and his mates this morning. The governor had him topped at the tower on purpose so Anne could watch from her window. Very thoughtful of him. The governor also got Cranmer to declare his marriage to Anne illegal, so little Elizabeth won't be queen after all. 18th of May, 1536. Complete bodge up this morning. Anne was supposed to get the chop at 9 o'clock, but 9 came and went and there was no sign of the executioner. I was just thinking I'd have to do it after all when we got a message that the bloke had been held up at the Dover Road. Honestly, traffic these days. Apparently he'd said he would be here by noon, but by 12:30 there was still no sign of him. We had to postpone the execution until tomorrow. 19th of May, 1536. The executioner from France finally turned up. There was a good crowd, 3,000 or so. I'll give Anne her due. She gave a good speech. Then the French bloke chopped her, nice sword technique, and held up her head. She'd been praying while she put her neck on the block and her lips were still moving. I'd seen that happen before. It's just a nervous reaction. But people started muttering that she was a witch and she was putting a curse on them. It was getting a bit dodgy with the crowd looking as though they might start a stampede, so I thought I'd lighten things up a bit. I held her head up by the hair and said, "Gig us a bottle of gear," but nobody laughed. I'm wasted in this job. And as for the governor, he's been throwing parties all over the place and looking forward to marrying Jane Seymour. Wonder how long she'll last. 21st of May, 1536. Went to the Swan and Boar Inn. Only it isn't called that anymore. It's been renamed. Will Summers organised it. It's now called the Queen's Head. And I'm going to leave that there just now and I will read to you soon, yes.